It's the Friday edition of Breakfast Central. You're tuned in with us for the next 3 hours as we bring you the biggest stories in politics, economy, and entertainment. And so we have an entertainment towards the end of the show, as we typically do on Fridays. You're welcome to Breakfast Central. I am Olive MOD.
And I'm Gbenga. Welcome to the Friday edition of Breakfast Central. Quite a lot is happening in the country. Bad news, good news, but you know, it's always a mixed bag when it comes to issues in Nigeria. But we're glad we're here to present to you the best breakfast show on television.
That's right, that's right. I mean, bad news, good news, it seems like it's a norm.
C'est la vie.
C'est la vie. Every now and then we hear it. But then again, welcome, I'm Joe Hansen, and this morning on a Friday, we'll be counting down to some of the biggest stories. Aside that, we'll take a look at what's really happening in different parts of the world. Particularly, our focus will be here in Nigeria. So if you just tuned in, feel free to follow us on all socials. And don't forget to drop a comment or two. We're streaming live on YouTube, on Facebook, and X. You can name it, wherever you'd find us. Please feel free to do so. We'll go straight into our, definitely what we started with, which is the wake-up conversations. And we're starting with a very sad story. Well, we don't mean to spoil your Friday morning, but the story is that there was a fresh bandit attack in Kirawa community in Gwoza, Borno State.
Absolutely.
Now, videos did circulate online. If you recall, just August, there was an attack in that same space, in Gwoza community. And after that, right before August this year, Gwoza has been attacked multiple times, where we also had the governor who joined us here on Breakfast Central to talk about what he's doing with the security operatives to ensure that he stops the insecurity from rising, especially from where it is currently. But now it seems really like it's out of hand.
It is. I mean, the district head of Kirawa community, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, reports had it that his palace was attacked and he's fled to neighboring Cameroon. And you will see pictures of the indigents and the citizens in Borno State in Kirawa community fleeing to Cameroon. We have exclusive video courtesy News Central. Please, let's take a look at this video. Viewer discretion is advised. It's really sad to see, but this is the reality of a number of Nigerians in Kirawa community. Let's take a look.
Allahu Akbar. Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakeel. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Mun gode wa Allah, wannan shine baraki na wani gari ne suna shi ba su zoi. Na Kirawa ne. Allahu Akbar. Allah ya ba mu nasara kansu. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Mun gode wa Allah. Wannan shine barakin Kirawa. Allah ya ba mu izina kai shi gashi nan. Wannan mota ne muna konawa. Alhamdulillah. Kai mai. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakeel. Wannan mamota ne ngwa. Mun gode wa Allah. Allahu Akbar. Mun gode wa Allah. Alhamdulillah. Allahu Akbar. Danke, stop. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Udah bangun ya, udah bangun. Jangan rumah ini ya, Om Bay. Rumah. Udah bangun nih. Kami udah bangun nih. Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakeel. Mata tu ya, bani. Allahu Akbar. Kadir. Leo. Kau orang nak kau leo. Allahu Akbar. Leo betul kau leo. Hah? Yang usah. Allah.
Look in the corner.
Aju, Nigeria.
These attacks don't seem isolated anymore. They're indicative of deeper issues and, deeper security challenges around Nigeria's borders. It would, part of the reports will be that that there is a vulnerability in these communities. This is not the first time, like Joe mentioned, the Kirawa attacks. Kirawa Poka Road was attacked in September. One civilian JTF official was killed. Now we're seeing that not only was the district head palaces burnt and a lot of shops along the way burnt, but people have had to flee for their lives. And that's what the reality is. That people, again, are afraid for their lives. People who went to bed in their homes have now woken up and turned into internally displaced persons. In a country where we're already struggling with the number of internally displaced persons that we have, the numbers keep increasing. Gentlemen, this is
it keeps increasing, and you wonder why you would find what many would refer to in the derogatory term as destitutes, or people who have fled their homes and decided to just live the best way they can anywhere they find themselves. In Lagos, you wonder why. In Lagos, you wonder why people are just migrating. Because if you look at the numbers of people from the northern part of the country coming into Lagos, it's no wonder, because they need some form of safety.
They just want to survive.
They just want to live. They just want to live.
I mean, this is terrible. I mean, there's a reason why the primary responsibility of every government is to provide security for Nigerians. That's the least. That's the basic you could do. And knowing the history of this region, knowing the history of these places, that they are soft targets, you expect deployment of quick, rapid response squads to deal with this terrorists. And I also think it's about time we change the nomenclature and stop using the word bandits. These are terrorists, and they should be dealt with the full weight of the law. And I think the time for kinetic or carrot and stick approach, non-kinetic and carrot and stick approach is gone.
Yes.
These are violent, extremely violent groups, and that's the only language they understand. And it's also an insult on the memories of their victims to go and negotiate or try and find a peace deal with these people. You know, while doing the military part, also look at the socioeconomic factors that drive recruitment that will make an able-bodied person, and also the brainwashing part, the religious extremism that makes them take weapons and attack innocent people. I don't think there's any holy book in the world that justifies that. So these are some of the strategies the authorities should be looking at. And it's so sad and ironic that this is coming less than 48 hours after Mr. President declared that, you know, the problem of terrorism and that there's peace in the land. Look at this. It's highly embarrassing.
Exactly, because
there's no need for the ostrich mentality. We need to raise our heads out of the sand and confront this head on.
I mean, ever since the Cameroonian forces, reports have it that since Cameroonian forces pulled out of Kirawa community, this has been a bit of a struggle, ensuring that they guarantee the safety and security of the citizens. But I would think that this particular attack has shown a number of things. One, the fact that the district head palace, the district head of the community had his palace attacked, I think it's symbolic. It's basically not just, exactly, they're attacking the authority and letting the people know that you are not safe, you cannot trust the state to protect you. That's one. Two, them burning shops, it's also very symbolic. In a country where we're already struggling with high numbers of multidimensionally poor people, they're attacking their shops. That is symbolic as well. It is them saying to them, and if you notice, they always typically target vulnerable people. They're targeting people going to pick firewood. They're targeting people's shops. Targets. Very soft targets. In a way, that's also trying to cripple the economy of the state.
I mean, just get them out, make us, that's why they're terrorists, terrorize them, make as much disruption into their lives as possible.
The videos you see there on the screen are videos of the community members and, of course, residents of Kirawa who had fled Kirawa itself in Borno State, and they were escorted by a few members of the Joint Task Force bordering between Nigeria and Cameroon. Now, not just that, take note that about 4 days ago, a senator, Senator Ali Ndume, had spoken out and he had called for help, that the military presence needed to be heightened, especially in this community, because while there were several attacks in the past, it also seemed that these attacks had resurfaced, had started all over again. A few persons were injured. Some who were on their bikes were equally attacked. And it just seems like it's not going to stop anytime soon.
I mean,
that's what it's looking
it
like.
didn't start yesterday. These issues the Army High Command have been dealing with for years. And you know vulnerable communities. From a journalistic and layman's perspective, you know soft targets that these communities, even if you can't, if the Nigerian army is stretched in terms of numbers, even if you can't deploy troops to every square meter of Nigeria's territory, you do know that these communities are vulnerable. There should be a rapid response, especially from the district head, to call for help, and they should be able to deploy in 8 to 10 minutes, and some form of assistance. But this doesn't happen, so there's clearly a failure somewhere, and somebody needs to take responsibility for this.
And when videos like this hit the internet, and we see attacks like this that seem successful with no apprehensions or no arrests being made, what it does is it further strengthens their resolve and lets them know, or makes them feel like they're immortal. So it then emboldens them to do more attacks. So what we must do is ensure that we protect the people. The responsibility of every government is to protect its citizens. And protecting the citizens would ensure that we do not allow citizens like this move from Nigeria to Cameroon. I mean, are we saying that we cannot protect our own here, that they have to leave our country? You are protecting your citizens from external aggression and as well internal aggression. Borno State Governor, we must say, he's been trying. It's been hard. It's not been easy. They've had to deal with a lot. We've had the governor on the show here.
Senator Dume is always constantly
speaking up, and he's also called for help. For me, I always say this: until there's a call for a state of emergency on Nigeria's insecurity crisis, I think we'll continue to see.
What in the president's speech? Did you not see what was said about security?
So that's what Gbenga said. He made a statement that they've done well.
We've gotten to a point now that you really can't just see mere statements. When the president went to Makurdi, you thought, this is the crossing line. He left the seat of power in Abuja, even though he didn't get to the affected community. But he did say, look, he gave the marching orders and he said, we're going to do our very best to end the problems of terrorism. But it's just talk. And we need to move beyond talk to actualization and really doing something about it.
Again, just as we wrap up this conversation, before we get to what Nigerians are saying about this, our hearts really go out to these people. Our hearts go out to these, our brothers and our sisters who have been forced to leave their homes, leave the comfort of what they know as home, and then go into another country, neighboring country. And I think it's even safe to say at this point, thank you to Cameroon for helping us house our brothers and sisters at this point. It's really sad. But there have been reactions on social media to this video, and let's take a few of these reactions. What Nigerians are saying. Someone says, so many things are going on in Nigeria, which is bigger than Gaza, but no one is talking about it. The reason why you all are talking about Gaza is because of structural engineering, buildings that are going down. Nothing, absolutely nothing is happening in Gaza compared to what is happening in Nigeria. Save Nigeria today. Nigeria is bleeding. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
City of Kings. First off, what is happening is not bigger than Gaza, and there's no basis for comparison. I don't know why we even do that in the first place. So just focus on the issue and let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's solve our own challenges. Let's solve our own problems. We're so quick to compare.
We shouldn't compare. But I can understand why I'm not explaining, and I'm not saying that it's correct, but I think why certain people always bring up Gaza whenever we have insecurity challenges here is because we find that sometimes our leaders are quick to speak about Gaza.
I mean, and they're right to speak about Gaza or insecurity in Sudan.
Without addressing within. It's the same way they call out celebrities by saying, oh, once there's an attack in one country abroad, you're quick to say, oh, let's pray for this. How many times have you said pray for Benue? How many times have you said pray for Plateau? So at the end of the day, I'm not saying what is happening in Gaza. I'm not in any way excusing it, just to put that out there. And you can speak for Gaza and speak for Nigeria. I think what they're trying to say is basically, do not ignore what's happening at home here, because many would interpret what the speech of the president was as maybe in some measure downplaying what's happening here, and and then they were speaking.
I think people should just address issues for what they are. Yeah.
All right, let's take the next comment on Instagram. This video was posted on Instagram, and this is what they're saying. Someone says it hurts to see our fellow country people go through this wicked ordeal. When will this stop, God? That's a question all of us are asking. When will this stop? Ribadu as NSA preparing to go and beg them by offering them goodies in exchange for. This is the non-kinetic approach that we have criticized.
Well, we can't confirm this though.
Sorry?
Yes, exactly. We can't confirm the authenticity.
No. I think this is not him saying that they will do it. He's saying I would interpret that to mean, he's sure that they are preparing any minute now to go and beg them.
But it's a community that did that in another state. The Katsina State. It's a community and the community leaders and the chiefs who actually welcomed the terrorists.
And the terrorists, as part of their goodwill, released some
captives.
When I saw that video, I said,
and they said that
it looked like a movie.
That if you come and attack us, there are many that will spring up.
So at the end of the day, to grant press release,
they went back to their
How did we get
abode?
Yeah, how did we get here? It was so glaring that as soon as they were leaving, there was a video I saw. The community was in somewhat cheering for them, like, hey, and they were riding their bikes and saying, "All right, we'll see you guys later, peace out," and so on. And they were asking for a lot. They asked for hospitals. They did ask for, was it food supplies and so on and so forth.
I warn you people not to
look
try.
At the weapons that's a general purpose machine gun. These things cost a lot.
This is also coming off the heels of a statement made by a gun runner who was caught. He said he was escorted by 400 Nigerian soldiers to deliver weapons. I'm still waiting to see if the military would debunk that statement, because that's a very huge indictment for a gun runner to come out well caught to say that he's always escorted by the Nigerian military to deliver weapons or give weapons to bandits or terrorists. So
I think the government has been approaching this security issues with kid gloves. I think that the time has come to take the gloves off and confront it head on, because this is just madness. And beyond just the violence and the physical attack, like I said, they also need to look at building community, attending to their economic needs, creating jobs and employment for people in this area to have a means of livelihood and a sense of belonging and also life, so they don't fall victim to violent extremist groups.
All right. Yeah. Let's move on now to our next story, a wake-up conversation. It's got to do with politics again, because it seems like every single day that's what we look into. Not because it is not important, but because, whether you like it or not, politics always defines how a country is run.
I mean, it's
whether you like it or not, it's part and fabric.
They make decisions, policies that affect our lives.
Absolutely.
So
and it's got to do
be
with
interested in politics.
Yeah, a former vice president is out again. There seems to be conflicting statements, neither here nor there. And this time it's got to do with the former vice president, President Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Stories were rife yesterday that he has mentioned that he will be running for president. He says he has no plans to step down for anyone, contrary to reports initially made that if there is anybody who is younger, he will actually step down for that person. But then again, his aide, his special advisor, had come out to say, I think Tunji, I can't remember that his surname, had come out to say that he had a one-on-one conversation with the former vice president, and he did say that he's ready to run. He's not going to stop for anyone. However, there are questions regarding where or what political party he's going to run in. Don't forget that the former vice president himself has changed political parties like changing clothes. He started off with he was in the PDP. Then he moved to the AD, and then went back to the PDP. From PDP went back to APC. APC, he now went back to the PDP.
A moving man.
And now he has left the PDP. Although he tried to win the primaries against the former late MKO Abiola, but he never got that ticket. But then again, he's not stopping at anything 6 times, and this could be his 7th if he's not taking.
Yeah.
But
So
now again,
times a charm.
Nigerians,
Well, so he had granted an interview to the BBC Hausa, and it was that interview that was interpreted to say that he said that he's willing to step down if a younger candidate runs for him. Then Paulie came to clarify and said, no, BBC Hausa misinterpreted him. We've watched the original transcript. At no point did he say that what he said was that younger people are free to participate in the election, in the contest.
I mean, take a look at
but
this,
that he has no interest.
I mean, if it's by younger people, it means everybody that is contesting against is free to, because they're all younger. That means he should automatically step down. He's the oldest in the contest.
Was it a sarcastic statement that
But I mean, it's
a
a
younger person, aside from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu or something?
Well,
maybe.
But it's there's so many things that people would look at that should.
all right. So at the end of the day, he seemed very confident about winning the primaries. And when asked about his chances, his representative has said it's easier for the camel. I think the camel, Sheosani, I think it was Sheosani that said that it's easier for the camel to pass through the eye of the needle than it was for him to win the primary, something like that.
Yeah, I remember. But the worry for many is the fact that they're still asking what platform is going to run him. It's going to run him.
I mean,
because from ADC,
yes.
how many people do you have on the ADC? How many people have gone
maybe
for
they'll
this
come
ticket?
to a consensus.
And again, there's still no clarity as regards when they say we're forming a coalition.
Doesn't mean you
there's still no clarity about what this
But
coalition
the
is all
former
about.
vice president has officially, we remember announcing him officially joining the fold of the ADC, saying, you know, he did first to join.
Okay, Gbenga.
Yes.
Wait. First to join. PDP, he moved to AD, PDP, APC, PDP. Now, there's nowhere. He said he only joined for a coalition. He didn't say he joined to run. However, on that same ADC, who is going to emerge?
Yeah, they will have a primaries and they decide
whoever is the winner will then
the
take
flag
it.
bearer for the party.
But he said he's not stepping down for nobody.
Okay, the delegates will decide at the convention.
Absolutely.
When they decide to.
But we're not the only ones that are speaking about this. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar has been in the news for the longest time, and he's represented a picture of being dogged. So his doggedness is applauded. He keeps running. If he will run to his final destination this time around, we don't know. I guess Nigerians
Just the way former President Buhari was dogged 4 times and it became a charm.
Exactly. So let's see if it's going to be 7 times a charm. Let's see what Nigerians are saying about Alhaji Atiku Abubakar and his intention to run and maybe not step down. Let's head to X. And our first tweet, Atiku, why are you so unstable like water? Why? Atiku, stay in one place and stop moving left, right, and center. That is Echieteka. So that's an interesting name. Echieteka means tomorrow is too far. Atiku Abubakar said he's not desperate to be president of Nigeria. If there's any truth in the statement, I think the best retirement gift Atiku will give himself at this point will be supporting Peter Obi, his one-time running mate, to take the lead. Atiku has been contesting and losing all along. He's always on the ballot in every election. It's time for him to accept the reality that he won't be president and leave the stage with his honor and dignity intact. One of the unique qualities of a good dancer is knowing when to vacate the stage, as the ovation is still loud. Interestingly,
is he saying that Atiku is a dancer now? Is he saying that Atiku is a stepper? Is he saying
that's a good answer.
The former vice president is a mover?
Yeah, we'll ask Dr. Kafi.
He's a political mover and shaker.
See, the truth is, I don't know how these coming elections will turn, but if truly he doesn't get on the ballot this coming one, I also think he should rest.
I mean, at this point, he's in his late 70s.
Yes, if he doesn't get on the ticket this time, he should
almost
really rest.
like No Country for Young Men. Paul Biya at 92, he's just decided to
go again.
When we were small, they told us we are the leaders of tomorrow. Leaders of yesterday have refused to vacate the spot for us to
No, they can't leave it for you.
Our children are here. The current government will do everything possible to ensure Atiku contests in the next election, irrespective of the party. That's their only way to checkmate Peter Obi. Atiku contesting is a direct win for APC.
This is
it's taking us back to 2023. There were concerns.
Divided opposition.
Yeah, divided oppositions, divide to conquer. In other words, separate the numbers, separate the votes. If Atiku gets higher votes, the vote will not actually be compiled to favor one person. You know, there's a lot.
And then the unwritten rule that, you know, power should rotate between the north and the south.
Yeah.
Yes, the incumbent president has just done 4 years. And then you also, you know, you're a northerner and you're contesting.
In the words of...
doesn't, like many people interpret it as, you know, being very stubborn and going against the tide and trying to rock the boat. But, I mean, the Constitution is supreme. Constitution doesn't recognize that. You're
it
free
doesn't.
to contest.
And I think it's high time Nigerians take note of that. I think there should be an orientation to help Nigerians understand that there is no way in the Nigerian Constitution that states that if Gbenga runs, because Gbenga is from the southwest, therefore Olive should run next because she's from the south, and then Joe should also go, well, we're both south.
That's why they call it unwritten gentlemanly agreement or gentlewomanly.
I don't understand what that
in the case of
who signed that agreement? Was it
it's been
then
But that's
General
this is an age-old argument. This is an age-old argument because if we start to go about that argument, we start going in circles again with those who say zoning is a good idea, zoning represents, you know, federal character. We won't get out of this argument, but maybe we'll move on from that conversation to another one.
Yeah.
And celebrate the people of Edo State, where the governor of Edo State has been applauded for doing something incredibly remarkable. This is Governor Okpebholo of Edo State, who did
he find the cure for cancer?
No, he didn't find the cure for cancer. Neither did he find the cure for HIV. What he has done is absolutely remarkable, praiseworthy, and you would see that the citizens agree. In fact, one of the citizens made a video of him that has now gone viral on social media, a video that sort of reminded me of what we would typically see when the Minister of FCT, back in the day when he was governor of Rivers State, you know, he would have his praise singers singing his praise, and you know, with
a live band, you know, very novel. And Olive, we've worked together in this job for so many years, and we were colleagues in our previous work. And I guess I've been through your CV once or twice. I saw spoken languages, basic Yoruba, English, Igbo, but there was nowhere I saw that you speak the language of sarcasm.
Oh, I forgot to put that.
Yes.
I'm very fluent in
sarcasm.
Thank you very much. I shall update my CV to reflect that.
Update.
That being said, let's play with you this very highly commendable video of the Edo State governor doing what I almost called him president, because at this rate, with all the hailing in that video, you might as well think it's the president.
And the security bodyguard. There was Django Unchained in the front and in the back.
Let's take a look.
Governor with the entire gutter, checking the project. Abako Rescue, he has come to rescue Sapler Road. Abako, the light of Edo State, the light of Edo, Abako Rescue. Governor with the entire gutter, Governor with the entire gutter. Governor with the check project for weekend. Oh God. Governor we know they tired to work. Mr. Project, uncommon governor, uncommon project. Governor we know they tired to work. He's moving today Saturday, weekend. Wait for rest, you see they work. He's working. See, governor with the enter gutter. Since 1999, we never see governor when they enter gutter. Oh God. He's checking. He's looking whether the contractor is working. In Edo, 2.5 million votes is settled. Asiwaju. God sent to Edo State. God sent to Edo State. The man that God has sent to come and rescue Edo. Edo is shining. The governor is working. Miracle worker. Miracle worker. Governor, we know they tired to work. Governor, we know they tired to work. Waiting other governors no fit do for 8 years. Akpako is doing it. Oh, governor, we get swag. Governor, we get level. Oh God. The light of Edo. God bless the governor. God bless the governor. God bless the governor.
If they give the governor all this healing and all these praises, what would they now give God?
Exactly. What is remaining?
Because they have called him miracle worker. You know, they've called him the light of Edo State. He has come to save them. If he came to save them, what did Jesus come and do?
I need to inspect this studio.
Anchor with the wall.
Is the TV working well?
Anchor.
Okay.
A miracle working anchor.
Okay.
Anchor with the enter God.
Keep
Light
me.
of breakfast central.
Okay.
Miracle of New Central. Uncommon uncle.
Stand up. Are you okay?
This is so funny. Anchor when they walk.
Yes.
When they walk, how many months?
Paco uncle.
Waiting other anchors never do for 8 years. Now you don't do for
I just checked the. You know, he didn't say anything.
Jokes apart. I know that was very funny and very soon. I'm sure, like you had mentioned off air, that this is going to end up becoming maybe a TikTok challenge. Kudos to the governor for inspecting the gutter. But why are we Nigerians now so celebratory of mediocrity? Anyway, let's see what Nigerians are saying. When we'll come back, we'll share our own thoughts here. All that paparazzi for a gutter / drainage / road, whatever. The day they build a technology that can run a refinery like the one that India gave Dangote, what will they do then? We really need to stop sweating small stuff. It's 2025. Africans are too easily impressed by small things.
Now, wow, which one is India gave Dangote refinery?
I weak.
Let politicians work and finish what they started before running to praise them like they are not doing their constitutional duties. These are basic amenities.
Facts.
Fact.
When will Nigerian development move away from road? We've been fixing roads for decades. Please add gutters to it. Roads and gutters. Now this is the problem.
No, that's not gutter. I need to correct you, Olive. That's a drainage.
A drainage.
For a governor to enter inside.
That's a drainage. It's a dry. It's an empty.
It has taken it from a gutter level to a drainage.
Besides, take note. It's not gutter yet. It's just a constructed drainage system.
No. He's saying that the fact that the governor entered inside, it has elevated the status. You can't just call it a gutter.
You can't just call it common gutter.
Common gutter.
It's a drainage system.
Yeah.
A channel to channel wastewater.
Wastewater.
Yeah.
Water. Yeah, I feel you.
Let's continue with the tweets. Now, this is the problem. No Nigerian politician, dead or alive, deserves to be praised like this. There's an allocated money for a project like this, and we not even use 30% of the budgeted allocation for its purpose. Some are trying when they are desperate for re-election.
Boom.
You know what we need to do as a country? You know those retreats that companies hold? The whole country should meet at somewhere like a Pine Tropicana or so, and then let's discuss our issues.
My brother,
we need to deal.
My brother, I agree with you.
We need to breathe in and out.
We have been so, would I say, tortured
abused
mentally.
Yes.
That we do not know what is right.
The bar is so low.
It's so low. But there are two sides to this story, though. After this tweet, Governor with the entire gutter in 2025 shows how low we have gone as a people and a nation. This is the lowest of the lows. We have been so deprived of what we just said, so deprived of good governance that we celebrate a display of anyhowness. Just imagine. And we agree with you, Oluwafemi. Let's take another one. It says, I pray one day you see Dubai, UK, with all our resources. It is somebody that entered gutter that we are healing. This voice for background, they vex me. It don't vex you alone.
We also have to say that
comments I saw.
The governor is just returned from Glasgow, Scotland.
Yeah, where he also gave a speech.
Summit, yes.
Yeah, where he gave a speech in which
look for
many have said it wasn't a good speech because he was repeating and said things that weren't true. But because we're not addressing that story, let's address this one. So there are two sides to this story. This particular one, the governor with the entire gutter. One is what we've highlighted now. I think Nigerians have been so deprived of good governance, like the tweet said, that we do not really understand what good governance is. That's one. Two, on the flip side, I think people are trying to portray the truth, which they had been missing for a very long time in the previous administration under the governorship of Obaseki, in whom they were expecting that he would have delivered good roads and so on and so forth after he had promised them that he would do so. Now, the two sides to this coin is this. One, Nigerians have not been so enlightened to understand that Nigeria is a blessed nation. We have so much money, we have so much resources that we should be the Dubai of the world, not Africa alone, but of the world. So because we do not know what we have, whatever we are being given is seen as the best that we've had.
All we have is mentality that the governor is paying out of pocket for this.
Exactly,
project.
and it's not paying out of
Maybe
pocket.
because they slapped their names on some of this constituency projects.
It's your money. It's your money.
It's taxpayers' money, and we need to understand that.
It's your
That's
money.
the basic minimum they expect it to do. And somebody said in 2025, we should
Gota.
move beyond. I mean, you see legislation. You watch the parliament in Europe. They're talking about the euthanasia, the right to die with dignity. They've moved beyond Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
They're talking
about pet, animal, the way you should kill
Euthanasia for
animals.
animals, yeah.
You know, animal rights. They've evolved beyond that level. And we're still dealing with what Shagari and Aulo campaigned with.
So I think my thoughts, I will differ slightly. I think that it's not a bad idea to applaud politicians when they've done well. Why? Because there are still politicians who have the same resources, the same access, that are not doing anything. So I've always been of the opinion. I've always been of the opinion that it's okay to say well done when you think that someone has been working. In the same way that we give criticism, we must give compliments. That's one. However, the level of, and I know this is in no way reflective of the governor. It's the person, the hype man, that this is addressed at. The hype man, which is representative of the psychophancy that we often see in the Nigerian electorate. We need to do better and know that we should expect more. If you are singing praises and you've turned into a proper hype man for inspection of gutter, then what happens when you see that the government is doing much more than they have planned to do? These are their responsibilities.
Standard
it's okay to say well done. Thank you so much, and we applaud you for doing what you owe us, what you've promised us. But that's a bit much. That's a bit low. You need to calm down. Yeah, calm down. We need to calm down.
That's not a hype man anymore. That guy is a town crier.
But in all honesty, let's just leave it as it is. As we wrap up, let's just say that I want to believe that Senator Okpebholo will surprise the Edo people. Because with the way in which he has started,
he seems to have started
on
well.
a very good note. Let's be honest. Let's say the way it is. And I think he's following. There are a few of them on that same WhatsApp group. Senator Okpebholo, what's his name? No, not former CBN Governor Charles Chukwuma Soludo. I think he's not also on that list. You have the Abia State Governor.
You'll be surprised that Chukwuma Soludo still has his supporters.
I'm not talking about him having supporters. I'm talking about governors who are showing working.
That's what I'm saying.
Of Abia State.
Governor Alex Oti, remember the street light? When people sat down on the street and say, wow.
But Governor Monday Okpebholo is a very unique politician because he seems to be running a two-pronged race. At every point he gets access to a microphone, he's always quick to praise Mr. President in Abuja. Always quick to promise him 2 million votes. Constitutionally, he can only guarantee one vote. So where would
it means what he's saying is that
a bird in hand is better than two in the sky. But secure your own election first. Leave Mr. President.
They said from this gutter, his election, if you saw some comments, his election is secured till 2035.
Okay. And then I don't know his background. I don't know if we
Can I quickly read this comment? Ikechukwu Victory on X says, Edo people have been scammed. I understood that one of you in the studio this morning is from Edo State. Is any of us from Edo State? No. Edo State is here. You should pray for his dear state. The truth is the standard of governance has been reduced to 0. And then in response to Atiku, he says, Atiku contesting again should be considered a betrayal of Nigerian people, a sign of a man who lacks sense of equity and honesty. He collaborated with Buhari and Tinubu to fight GJ because he's of the north. And then Chukwemeka says, Governor was just taking his stroll, funny man, but Olive, that's your sarcasm maybe. Well, the final thing, when we talk about the governor inspecting, I was wondering, does the governor have a background in engineering?
Exactly.
How does he know that he's looking
He didn't even speak to any. I mean, from the video we saw, he wasn't talking to any site engineers.
Because if I'm inspecting the gutter, I just want to see that, okay, study. I don't know what to look out for. I'm not an engineer.
Okay,
I'm not
from what I could see from an engineering perspective, the parts...
Are you an engineer?
I'm not, but I mean from common sensical engineering perspective. Look, the parts Can we play that
No,
video?
we are not
again?
playing it.
I'm not playing that video.
Let's go. We are
There's
not
a
playing.
part where you have gates and people's businesses.
He asked,
that
he
are
said,
being-
why is this gate here and the
No,
gutter?
no, exactly. Did he ask?
Yes, he
No,
asked.
so there's something they do to make provisions for that little
Yes.
cover. So cars
They are
can
still
drive in.
working
No,
on
they will do
it.
All the
They are
bridges,
still working on
it's
it.
extra work.
They are still
Look,
working
that's-
on it.
No, they do all of that, Gbenga. It took a long time before he got
another
there.
gate.
Yeah, it took a long
just
time before he
have
got
a-
there. Gbenga, I get what
We're
you're
going
saying.
to get. No, I
No,
need
that's
to
why
tell
you
you.
All these
Look
gates.
at-
Not this
No,
one.
no,
This
this
is
gate.
It's going to take a
That's
long time to
lock-up
get
shop.
there. I know what you're talking about. He
No.
asked.
We're approaching the gate now.
Gates of heaven.
Gbenga,
we'll
we need
see
to
get
we need to wrap up this.
We need to get.
segment.
Gbenga, you know what we'll do? We'll go
look
and
at
for the
that
gates by
Yes, now
yourself.
he asked. Now he
Okay.
said,
Oh,
"What's going on here?"
Okay, to cross over the gates.
Yes, they're going to set the.
And they're still
of course, now
building
they're
now.
not
This thing
done
is
now.
not
After
yet
the
done.
gutters,
No, I'm
they
not
would-
saying it should be done. It should not be on the same level with the
Don't
others.
worry. about
Okay, we
it.
have to go now. Congratulations to the people of Edo State who wash your Kirawa water with a
the
bottle of whatever
source
it is you
of the
drink.
hype was Egogo, the town crier, you see?